Hello everyone, I've got a replay for you today of Swan 2.1. The reason why I'm calling it 2.1 is because in my 2.0 video I made a replay while playing as Swan using the turret method, I called it, and someone had asked me to do this. Well, I actually misunderstood that person. So what I did was I built all of the defenses along the lines of my base right at the perimeter. Well, what this person actually wanted to see was building all of the defenses right where the Void Thrashers spawn. So what will happen is as soon as the Void Thrasher spawns, it will pretty much instantly die and be distracted by the defenses, not causing any damage to your temple. Well, that is exactly what I am going to be showing you in this playthrough. So I'm going to tell you straight away, it took me a couple times to actually get this method to work. It's not easy. If you practice it a couple times, it can actually be really effective though, and it might be a way that you guys will want to play in the future. But okay, so starting out, there are three defenses that we're going to be using. The Flaming Betty. It's a turret that hides under the ground and pops up as soon as units get close enough to it, and then spews out fire, so it's really good against bio units. Then we got Blaster Billy. That's got a bit longer range than the Flaming Betty does, and it shoots out rockets and does higher damage to single targets, whereas the Flaming Betty can, I believe, does splash damage to multiple targets at the same time. And then we've got the Spinning Dizzy, and that's your anti-air defense, which attacks air units, and you can upgrade. I think you have to upgrade to do this, but once upgraded, if I'm correct, it shoots out multiple targets into the air, or shoots out multiple missiles into the air, and does area damage to air units, and a lot of extra damage. So those are your three defenses, and as you can see, what I'm doing right this moment is I'm building a wall of Flaming Betties right where these rocks are. No, this is not where the Void Thrasher is going to spawn, but the reason I'm doing this is because there's an attack coming for us, as Zagara says. So these Flaming Betties, even if you've got Protoss, Terran, or Zerg, whatever it may be, the Flaming Betties can hold off the first two waves pretty well. Might throw in a Blaster Billy or two, but okay, so we've got Roaches. So Roaches are kind of tanky for these Flaming Betties, but the thing what we're going to do is I've only got two SCVs here. You're going to want to micro your SCVs onto the Flaming Betty taking damage. That Flaming Betty on the side on the left there, I let it die because I wanted to make sure to keep the rest of my Flaming Betties away. I pretty much sacrificed that one, and then I focused my two SCVs on the single Flaming Betty that was taking the most damage. So you're going to want to make sure to do that when you're doing this playstyle. Gotta micro your SCVs, and make sure to always have them behind your defenses. So something I want to cover quickly, right from the get-go, I didn't mention this right away. I made a supply depot, then I created a war factory. And then I created an engineering bay. That engineering bay is where you're going to get all of your upgrades for your turrets. And you're going to want to get all four of these upgrades. One increases the armor of your turrets. Another increases the fire rate of your turrets. Another allows your turret to put its own fires out. And I believe the fourth one is that spinning dizzy upgrade that allows it to do more damage to air units. So you're going to want to make sure to get those three buildings out first. That's the most important thing. Then you can start focusing on other things like creating more supply depots, getting your gas going, and so on and so forth. Okay, also as you can see, I made 3 units, those fire bats, or hellbats, and the Goliath. I made 2 hellbats and a Goliath to take out the rocks, and then I created my expansion. You're going to want to get the expansion right away because you need those resources. And then also, once the first 2 waves were done, I moved my SCVs to where we are looking right now. I moved my SCVs forward and started building my turrets. So this is where that walkway is to where the bonus objective is going to be, right off to the top left here on the screen. And this is where you're going to want to build your line of defenses in the southwest corner of the map. The southwest corner of the map, this is where you're going to want to build your defenses, because that's where the Void Thrasher is going to spawn. And note that I also dropped down my Ares, I guess, super unit, whatever you want to call it, energy unit. I dropped those, the timed ability that Swan has. I dropped in those Ares units, and I had to do that for, I guess you could say, the 3rd wave coming, because I was just getting my turrets up, and I didn't really have enough defenses up to actually protect my turrets. There weren't enough built at that time, so that's when I dropped those Ares. So if you guys are going to be playing in the same step, using the same steps as me, that would be a smart thing to do. Save your Ares for that. Okay, and as you can see, what I said before, the Void Thrasher spawned right in front of the turrets. They literally destroyed that thing without it being able to do any damage to the temple. It worked out really good. So far, so good. This method is being really effective. Okay, and then what you're going to start seeing me doing is I'm going to start spawning Goliaths out of my factory. You don't need too many of these Goliaths because we're really just focusing on defenses, but if you you're going to want just a couple extra units just for mobility, because later on in this bottom right corner, the southeast corner of the map, where I'm starting to build defenses right now, there's going to be a Void Thrasher that spawns closer, and it'll spawn right in front of my defenses. But later, when the second Void Thrasher spawns in that corner, it's going to spawn further back. So your wall of defenses aren't going to be able to touch this Void Thrasher. Now, some of you may be able to actually build enough defenses and build them all the way towards the back of the map, and then they'll be ready to take on that second Void Thrasher. But I found it to be very difficult to actually build defenses back that far, since the Zerg already has their, or whatever armor you're going against, they already have defenses and units waiting for you. So it's really hard to push your defenses back that far. So you need some type of movable unit to actually go and get that Void Thrasher. And that, in my case, I'm using Goliaths. I create about, towards the end of this mission, I will have created about maybe 10 to 15 of them, and then I'll walk out towards that Void Thrasher and then do a little bit of microing when there aren't units, or aren't waves coming at me. And then you can also use your Goliaths throughout the mission in this corner to kind of protect your defenses. Now, what you're going to be seeing is I'm going to be taking on these 2 sides primarily, and I'll do a little bit work in the top right corner of the map. There haven't been any units to come attack us yet in the top right corner, but I'll build a couple defenses over there. But I'm primarily focusing on both of these corners just for myself, and I'm letting my teammate deal with the other 2 corners. And that's what you're going to want to do. I found it to be a little too... I actually did try this. I tried to put defenses on all 3, I guess, paths that the Void Thrashers can spawn on. Because the Void Thrashers can spawn in the bottom right, the bottom left, and the top left corners of the maps. But trying to build defenses in all 3 areas is just... you just don't have enough income. Maybe if you practice a lot and get lucky, I don't know. But I just really found that there was not enough constant income to actually be able to build defenses in all 3 areas at the same time. And I guess that's why this is a co-op mission too, because you have to depend on your teammate to do something as well. You can't just take on the whole mission by yourself. But anyway, as you can see, this is where a teammate is going to come in handy. I didn't have enough defenses built in this bottom left corner, so now I am going to lose pretty much all those defenses except for maybe 2 or 3 spinning dizzies. But my teammate finally comes down there. So you need to be prepared for that. If your teammate is not paying attention, you may lose these walls of defenses. And honestly, my teammate should have been there for that attack, because that was the only way of attacking us at the same time. And it's just, you just got to have help sometimes to take those guys out. But honestly, I should have been more prepared for that, and it was my fault that wall got broken down. But so here we are, and I'm going to have to go back over to that corner and start building new defenses. One thing I wanted to say really quickly, notice how I am placing all of my Flaming Betties in the front. I'm placing my Blaster Billies right behind the Flaming Betties, and then I'm placing my Spinning Dizzies behind the Blaster Billies. So this all goes down to range. The Flaming Betties have the smallest range, so you want the units to get the closest to them, so you place them in the front. Blaster Billies have the longest range, so you place them behind the Flaming Betties. And I just placed the Spinning Dizzies behind everything else because they're only attacking air units, and the majority of the units attacking you are going to be ground. Though there are going to be a lot of air units, like as you can see right now, there's air units. There's not going to be as many, so you don't have to worry too much about where the Spinning Dizzies go, and it doesn't matter too much if they're in the back. So, also, once your Spinning Dizzies start attacking air units, the enemy air units get focused on your air defenses, and they'll actually go towards your Spinning Dizzies and not focus on your ground defenses anymore. So it works out pretty well. Okay, so here are some enemy drop pods, and those are going to spawn around your temple. Sometimes they'll even spawn right at the base of your temple. So as you can see, I'm kind of creating my top right defense line. I'm creating close to the temple, and once I start getting enough resources, I'm going to start building defenses all the way in a circle around the temple in order to best protect it as I can.
A Void Thrasher is bombarding the temple. You must end its assault.
Okay, so we're going to have a Void Thrasher. Yes, Void Thrasher is spawned in the top left corner. So now this is where you're going to want to just, hopefully your teammate isn't playing defensive route like you. Or if he is building his defenses close to where the Void Thrasher is. But at this moment, I just have to let my teammate handle this Void Thrasher on his own. You're going to have to let him depend on it. If you're playing this type of style that I'm playing right now, and it worked out very well. Now, something else that I need to mention really quick here: the bonus objectives, the destroy the Zenith stones. I am not going to actually partake in destroying any of these stones because I'm not creating very many units right now. I'm just focusing all on the defense. So as you can see, my teammate is going to take care of both of these. He already took care of the one in the north. Now he's taking care of the one on the west side of the map. And the one on the east side, close to my defenses in the southeast corner there, that one I'm not going to in this playthrough, but I should have taken care of that Zenith stone with the Goliath that I had. So just make sure to take care of that stone when there are no waves coming at you. If you get distracted by taking out that stone and your units are in the wrong spot, you could just lose the entire mission just by trying to get that bonus objective if your units are out of place. So you need to be very careful. Only take out the stones if you're absolutely sure that you aren't going to lose your wall of defenses. Okay, one other thing I ran into a couple times here. As you already saw, I destroyed one of my Blaster Billies, and this is the second Blaster Billy I destroyed. Make sure to have at least one path through your defenses. Your Flaming Betties, they'll go down into the ground and you can kind of walk over them. But Blaster Billies, they're pretty much solid. You can't go through them. So you need to have some type of path created so that you can actually get through, your units get through. You need to have some type of movement for your SCVs so they can move around and repair your buildings. Okay, one other trick I wanted, okay. Now, as you can see, before I say anything, you can see I've been saving my Ares again. So you're going to want to save those for drop pods like that, or for emergency cases. that's basically the only time you're going to want to use your Ares is for emergency cases, because you're going to run into times when everything else is going to fail, and then you need to drop something and save yourself. Well, that's when Ares will come in handy. Same with the other upgrades that you can get at your laser drill. There are two upgrades, laser drill level 2 and laser drill level 3. You're going to want to get both of those. In order to upgrade your laser drill, you need to build an armory. Once you have the armory built, which you can build after you build a factory, then you can upgrade your laser drill. And with laser drill level 2, I can't remember the name of it, but you get a beam. It's the second icon. So there's 4 icons on the top of the screen right now. The one on the left is your laser drill attack. The one second on the left is a laser. It's like a huge laser beam that shoots in a line. That's what you're going to unlock for laser drill level 2. And then the one on the right side, but not furthest to the right, that is what you get for upgrading to laser drill level 3. And that is pretty much a massive just bomb, a laser bomb. And I'm going to use it right now. As you can see, it decimates everything. It literally destroys everything that is in front of it. I think it might not completely kill hybrid. They might have a little bit of health left. But anything that's a basic Zerg, Terran, or Protoss unit is going to die from that epic attack. So you want to make sure to upgrade your laser drill to level 3. Also, laser drill level 3 does the most damage for your laser drill attack. So all around, it's very important to get that upgrade. As you can see, the Goliaths that I made previously are coming in handy now. This is that second Void Thrasher I was talking about that was going to spawn in the bottom right corner of the map. It is spawned. I tried to put my defenses further back, but it just spawns so far into their base. And this is why you want to have these Goliaths to walk back into their base. Now, a Zerg wave started coming, so I decided that I needed to micro my Goliaths back. And you do not want to take these Zerg units on without your defenses. Make sure to drag your Goliaths back into the defenses in order to keep your Goliaths alive. You need those Goliaths to destroy the Void Thrasher, so it is utmost importance to keep them alive. And as you can see, I'm taking in my Ares again. I'm dropping down the Ares. I really need to take out this Void Thrasher. It's doing damage to the temple, and there's only 1:20 seconds left, so we're almost there, and I decided that it was a good time to do it. Now, I'm not microing my units back this time because I see that the Void Thrasher is going to die, and I decided to just stick through it and make sure to kill it. So that is the choice I made there. Okay, so now time's getting really close to the finish, and I'm realizing I have less than a minute left. I need to get this bonus objective. If you're sitting in this position, this is when you need to get it. This would be a good time to get it right now, but there just wasn't enough time left for me. So if you guys are playing through and you see an opportunity to get all 3 bonus objectives, go for it. But like I said, you need to be really careful because you could lose the whole match if you mess up on your timing for getting it. But anyways, bonus objectives aren't that important. They only give you a little bit more experience. Well, actually, I can't say they're not that important. They give you a good amount of experience, and each of these co-op missions take you about 30 minutes to complete, so it's good to get all of the bonus objectives. And it was too bad that I did not. Well, so there it was, the co-op mission 2.1 for Swan, while using the turret method, building them right next to the Void Thrashers. I had a lot of fun doing this method. It took me probably 4 or 5 tries to actually get it to work, so like I said, it wasn't easy, but it definitely paid off when I got it to work. It was really effective. Here, now we get some endgame stats going here. Got 42,000 experience for not getting the all 3 of the bonus objectives, so that was quite a bit of experience still. And turned out really well. I don't think we lost let's see here. I don't think we lost more than 1,000 hit points on our temple, if I remember correctly. I think we ended at like something like 2,100 hit points out of 3,000. So it worked out really well. I had a pretty good teammate, so that helps. But I think even if you guys don't have that great of a teammate, you should be able to do pretty well with this method. I hope you guys will try this play style out, and I want some comments. I want to know what happens for you guys. How effective is it? I would suggest trying on hard difficulty first, just to get the hang of things, and then once you're used to it, then move on to brutal difficulty, because sometimes those waves, they'll get out of control, and if they get through your initial line of defenses, you don't have any units to protect your base, so you'll be in trouble, and that might cost you the whole match, and then you'll have a raging teammate, and he or she will blame you for the whole loss. Well, I think I covered pretty much everything I wanted to for this strategy. One last thing I wanted to make sure to make clear. In that engineering bay, there are 4 upgrades once again. Make sure to get all 4 of those upgrades. You can get the attack and defense upgrades, armor upgrades for your vehicles, for those Goliaths, but those are not really important. The 4 main upgrades you want to make sure to get are the ones from the engineering bay for your defenses. All 4 of those upgrades in the engineering bay will help your defenses, so make sure to get those. Make sure to get your economy going. One other thing I forgot to tell you guys, and I did not do in this playthrough, is I can't remember what they're called, but they cost 100 minerals, and you can drop them. They're like little drones that hover above the gas. Well, you can drop those down onto your gas, and they produce more gas for both you and your teammate. And I'm sure most of you already know about what I'm talking about. Well, I forgot to do that on my teammates. I think I only did it for my 4 extractors, and I did it, or not extractors, refineries I think they're called, and I didn't do that for my teammate. Well, if you do it for your teammate, not only does your teammate get the gas, but you do too. So make sure not to forget about that. But so there it is, guys. I hope you liked it. Give it a like, and I will see you guys in the next playthrough. Thanks for watching.